The past 5 years have reshaped the way we think about fitness, performance, and longevity. From the gym floor to the clinic, some of the most respected voices in strength, conditioning, and medicine share the lessons that matter most, not just for athletes, but for anyone who wants to train smarter, recover better, and live longer. Consistency beats complexity is one of the most overlooked yet powerful truths when it comes to achieving lasting success in health, fitness, and personal growth. Many people are tempted to chase the newest workout plan, the latest supplement, or the most cutting edge piece of advice they find online, believing that complexity will bring faster or better results. Yet the reality is that progress is built on the small, repeated actions that compound over weeks, months, and years. The basics, showing up for training, eating whole foods, sleeping enough, and moving the body regularly, are what truly make the difference. The human body thrives on rhythm and repetition. Muscles grow when they are exposed to consistent stress. The nervous system adapts when skills are practiced often, and habits are formed only when they are repeated until automatic. Complexity, on the other hand, often leads to overwhelm, inconsistency, and burnout. If someone changes programs every few weeks or jumps from one diet to another, the body never has the opportunity to adapt and progress stalls. That is why sticking to a simple routine, even if it seems unremarkable, is usually far more effective in the long run. Consistency also builds confidence because each repeated action is a promise kept to oneself. When you commit to training 3 times a week and follow through, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of discipline and progress. These small wins accumulate and create momentum, which is far more powerful than short bursts of effort followed by long stretches of inactivity. In contrast, complexity often causes hesitation and procrastination. When a plan feels overwhelming or too advanced, it becomes easy to skip a session or abandon the routine altogether. The simplicity of consistent practice removes barriers and reduces excuses, making it easier to stay on track. Another overlooked aspect of consistency is how it compounds over time. Much like compound interest in finance, the benefits of consistent effort multiply. A single workout might not make a visible change, but 100 workouts build strength, endurance, and resilience. One healthy meal does not transform the body, but a year of regular balanced eating improves energy, body composition, and metabolic health. This compounding effect cannot be replicated by sporadic bursts of intense effort, no matter how advanced or complicated they may seem. Furthermore, consistency allows for better measurement and adjustment. If you follow the same program for months, you can clearly see what is working and what is not, and make small tweaks to keep progressing. Complexity often clouds this process because constant change makes it difficult to track cause and effect. Simplicity paired with consistency provides clarity, making it easier to adapt intelligently without abandoning the foundation that works. Ultimately, the most successful people in fitness and life are not those who know the most complicated strategies, but those who master the basics and apply them consistently. Progress does not come from perfection or from reinventing the wheel every month, but from showing up, sticking to the plan, and trusting the process. Consistency is not flashy, but it is the quiet force that turns effort into results, goals into achievements, and intentions into a lifestyle. Longevity requires strength is a principle that becomes clearer the more we study the aging process and the demands of everyday life. Strength is not just about lifting heavy weights in the gym or performing athletic feats. It is the foundation that allows the body to remain functional, independent, and resilient as the years go by. Muscle mass and strength naturally decline with age, a process known as sarcopenia, and this decline is strongly linked to frailty, falls, loss of independence, and a reduced quality of life. By deliberately building and maintaining strength throughout adulthood, the trajectory of aging can be dramatically improved. Strength gives people the ability to perform essential daily tasks, from carrying groceries and climbing stairs to getting up from a chair without assistance. When these basic movements become difficult, independence is threatened and health quickly declines. Maintaining strength prevents this spiral and allows individuals to live with freedom and dignity well into older age. Beyond functional capacity, strength also acts as a protective shield for health. Strong muscles improve insulin sensitivity, which reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. They contribute to better joint stability and protect against injuries that become harder to recover from as the body ages. Strength training also enhances bone density, significantly lowering the risk of osteoporosis and fractures, which are among the most devastating events for older adults. A broken hip, for example, is not just an injury, it often triggers a cascade of health problems that shorten lifespan. Strength is therefore not only about power, but about survival. On a deeper level, building strength has profound effects on the body's internal systems. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, meaning it burns calories even at rest and plays a critical role in regulating hormones. Thiefan is helps maintain a healthy body weight, keeps metabolism efficient, and supports energy levels. The stronger the muscles, the more resilient the entire system becomes against stress, illness, and the wear and tear of time. Moreover, strength training improves cardiovascular health indirectly by lowering blood pressure, improving circulation, and reducing body fat, which all support a longer, healthier life. Strength also builds mental and emotional resilience. Training the body to push through challenging resistance cultivates discipline, confidence, and a sense of accomplishment. This mental toughness often carries over into other areas of life, fostering persistence and adaptability when facing non-physical challenges. In older age, maintaining strength gives people a sense of control over their own bodies and lives, which can reduce feelings of helplessness or dependency. The psychological benefits of staying strong are just as valuable as the physical ones. Importantly, strength for longevity does not require extreme methods or competitive lifting. It is built through consistent, moderate training that challenges the muscles while respecting the body's capacity. Resistance bands, body weight exercises, dumbbells, or machines can all be used effectively. The key is to progressively overload the muscles in safe, sustainable ways, ensuring that strength is preserved or improved year after year. By prioritizing strength, the body is fortified against aging, creating a buffer that makes the later decades of life not just longer, but fuller and more vibrant. Recovery is as important as training is a lesson that often takes time to truly understand because the culture of fitness frequently glorifies constant intensity, endless effort, and pushing past limits. While hard work and training is undeniably necessary for growth and improvement, the actual progress does not occur during the workout itself, but in the hours and days that follow. Training provides the stimulus, but recovery is the process that allows the body to adapt, grow stronger, and prepare for the next challenge. Without adequate recovery, the body remains in a state of breakdown rather than rebuilding, leading to fatigue, stagnation, and eventually injury or illness. Recovery is not simply about resting the muscles, it is a complete physiological reset that involves the nervous system, hormonal balance, and cellular repair. When we sleep, growth hormone levels rise, tissues repair, and the brain processes information, consolidating both physical and mental learning. Consistently sacrificing sleep for more training or longer workdays undermines this process and limits progress no matter how disciplined the workouts are. Nutrition is another central pillar of recovery. Muscles require protein to rebuild the fibers that are broken down during resistance or endurance training, and glycogen stores must be replenished to restore energy for the next session. Hydration also plays a role as water is necessary for nearly every cellular function, including nutrient transport and joint lubrication. Skipping meals, undereating, or relying on poor food quality starves the body of the raw materials needed for adaptation, making recovery incomplete. Over time, this leads to decreased performance, higher risk of overtraining, and a weakened immune system. Equally important is the role of active recovery and restorative practices. Gentle movements such as walking, mobility, or stretching increases blood flow, which helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to tissues while removing waste products. This speeds up healing and reduces stiffness. Modalities like massage, foam rolling, or even mindful breathing techniques can help calm the nervous system, shifting the body from a state of stress into one of repair. The balance between sympathetic activity, which dominates during intense training and stress, and parasympathetic activity, which governs rest and recovery, determines how well the body can adapt. Prioritizing activities that activate the parasympathetic system is essential for long-term progress. Psychological recovery also plays a key role. Mental fatigue can be just as draining as physical fatigue, and without downtime to recharge, motivation diminishes. Taking breaks, engaging in enjoyable hobbies, spending time in nature, or practicing mindfulness are all forms of recovery that enhance mental resilience. This is critical because sustained training demands not only physical strength, but also the mental focus to stay consistent. A burned out mind cannot drive a thriving body. Ultimately, recovery should not be viewed as a passive luxury, but as an active and intentional component of any program. Just as a training plan schedules sets and reps, it should also account for rest days, sleep quality, nutrition, and stress management. Ignoring recovery is like trying to build a house on a cracked foundation. It may stand temporarily, but it will not last. By respecting recovery as equal to training, the body is given the chance to adapt fully, reduce the risk of breakdown, and continue progressing for years to come, which is the true goal of sustainable fitness and health. Movement quality overload is a principle that carries immense weight in both training and long-term health, yet it is often neglected in the pursuit of faster progress or heavier lifts. Many people become focused on how much weight they can move or how many repetitions they can complete, but without proper form and control, these numbers mean very little. Poor movement patterns may allow someone to lift more in the short term, but they create hidden weaknesses and increase the risk of injury over time. Quality movement is about control, alignment, and efficiency, ensuring that every exercise builds strength and mobility in a way that carries over into daily life and sports. When form is prioritized, the body develops balanced strength, joints are protected, and muscles are activated the way they are intended to be. This creates a foundation that can support greater load in the future without sacrificing health. Movement quality requires attention to posture, joint stability, and range of motion. A squat, for example, is not valuable simply because of the weight on the bar, but because of the ability to maintain proper alignment through the hips, knees, and spine. If the pattern is flawed, heavier loads only magnify the problem and accelerate wear and tear on the body. On the other hand, practicing the squat with focus on depth, stability, and smooth control strengthens the entire kinetic chain, making everyday movements like sitting, standing, or lifting safer and more efficient. The same principle applies to pressing, pulling, hinging, and rotating movements that form the basis of both athletic performance and daily tasks. Another reason movement quality should come before load is that the nervous system learns patterns through repetition. Each time an exercise is performed, the brain and body reinforce that pathway. If a movement is practiced incorrectly with poor mechanics, those flaws become ingrained and harder to correct later. By prioritizing proper technique, the body learns the most efficient way to move, which not only improves performance but also reduces wasted energy and minimizes risk. Over time, this creates an athlete or individual who is not just stronger, but more capable and resilient in every environment. Focusing on movement quality also develops body awareness, sometimes called proprioception. This awareness allows people to recognize when something feels off, whether in training or in daily life, and adjust before an injury occurs. It builds the skill of listening to the body, recognizing imbalances, and addressing weaknesses. This kind of awareness is invaluable for longevity because it allows people to adapt their training as their bodies change with age, maintaining capability without pushing into harm. It is important to recognize that prioritizing quality over load does not mean avoiding heavy weights or hard training. It means earning the right to progress by first mastering the fundamentals. Once a solid foundation is built, heavier loads can be added safely and effectively, leading to even greater strength and power without sacrificing health. This balanced approach ensures that training supports long-term development rather than causing setbacks. True progress comes from building strength that is functional, sustainable, and protective. By valuing movement quality above all else, the body is trained not only to perform but to endure, making strength a tool for life rather than just a temporary achievement. Nutrition as personalized medicine is a truth that continues to gain importance as we learn more about how individual bodies respond to food. While general principles of healthy eating, such as prioritizing whole foods, minimizing processed sugar, and ensuring adequate hydration apply broadly, the finer details of nutrition cannot be reduced to one-size-fits-all advice. Each person has unique genetic factors, metabolic tendencies, activity levels, and health conditions that shape how food influences their body. Protein, carbohydrates, and fats are not just fuel, they are signals that impact hormones, energy balance, immune function, and even mood. The idea that nutrition is medicine means that every bite carries the potential to either move the body toward health and resilience or toward imbalance and disease. Protein intake is a prime example of personalization. For some, higher protein is essential to preserve lean mass, support muscle repair, and improve satiety, especially as the body ages and muscle loss accelerates. For others, excessive protein may be unnecessary or even counterproductive depending on their activity and health profile. Carbohydrate needs vary just as widely. An endurance athlete training multiple hours per day will thrive on a diet rich in complex carbohydrates to restore glycogen, while a sedentary person with insulin resistance may benefit from moderating carbohydrate intake to control blood sugar. Fat intake is equally nuanced, with sources like omega-3 fatty acids offering anti-inflammatory benefits, while excessive intake of poor quality fats contributes to systemic inflammation. Personalized nutrition also considers timing. When food is consumed can affect energy, recovery, and metabolic outcomes. Some individuals perform better with structured meals throughout the day, while others thrive on intermittent fasting protocols that allow longer periods of rest for digestion and cellular repair. Even within these approaches, the effectiveness is highly individual and requires listening to the body's signals, monitoring outcomes, and making adjustments rather than following rigid rules. Another layer of personalization comes from gut health and food tolerance. Two people can eat the same meal and experience very different reactions depending on their microbiome and digestive capacity. Foods that are beneficial for one person may trigger bloating, fatigue, or inflammation in another. Understanding and respecting these differences is key to building a nutrition plan that supports vitality rather than drains it. This is why paying attention to how specific foods make you feel, using elimination and reintroduction strategies if needed, and focusing on diversity of whole food sources becomes so critical. Nutrition as personalized medicine also connects directly to long-term disease prevention. The right dietary approach can lower the risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, and many other chronic conditions. Instead of waiting for medication after disease develops, nutrition provides a proactive way to modulate health from the ground up. Food choices influence blood sugar regulation, cholesterol balance, blood pressure, inflammation, and cellular aging. This makes nutrition not just about weight management or appearance, but about extending health span and quality of life. Ultimately, recognizing nutrition as personalized medicine requires humility and curiosity. It means resisting the temptation to follow broad trends or copy what works for someone else, and instead exploring, testing, and refining what truly supports your own body. By approaching food in this way, nutrition transforms from a set of restrictions into a powerful tool for healing, performance, and longevity, tailored uniquely to each individual. Adaptability is the ultimate skill because life is constantly changing, and the ability to adjust training, nutrition, and mindset to meet new circumstances determines whether progress can be sustained over the long term. No one lives in a vacuum where conditions remain the same forever. Work demands fluctuate, family responsibilities shift, injuries and setbacks occur, and aging brings inevitable changes to the body. If the approach to health and fitness is rigid, these changes can derail progress completely, leading to frustration and abandonment of goals. Adaptability, on the other hand, allows people to pivot when challenges arise, making adjustments that keep them moving forward even if the path looks different than originally planned. Adaptability in training means recognizing that the body does not always respond the same way in every season of life. A young athlete may thrive on high-intensity sessions several days per week, but as years go by, the same level of intensity may lead to burnout or injury. Adapting might mean incorporating more recovery days, adjusting volume, or focusing on mobility and stability instead of endless load progression. It also means having the flexibility to train in different environments with limited equipment or for shorter time frames when life gets busy. Rather than seeing these adjustments as setbacks, adaptable individuals view them as opportunities to stay consistent and creative, ensuring that movement remains a non-negotiable part of their lifestyle. Nutrition requires the same kind of adaptability. Travel, holidays, stress, or health changes can all influence what is practical or beneficial at any given time. An adaptable approach does not collapse under the pressure of a single missed meal plan or a deviation from a structured diet. Instead, it shifts gracefully, focusing on core principles like balance, moderation, and nutrient quality while adjusting details to fit current circumstances. For example, someone recovering from an illness may need more protein and calories than usual, while someone under heavy work stress might benefit from simpler, easy to digest meals. Adaptability ensures that nutrition remains supportive rather than restrictive, flexible enough to serve the body's needs at every stage. Mindset is where adaptability proves most essential. Unexpected challenges can easily create frustration, disappointment, or the temptation to give up entirely if the mindset is rigid. But an adaptable mindset sees challenges as feedback rather than failure. If a particular program or strategy no longer produces results, adaptability encourages experimentation and curiosity rather than stubbornly clinging to what no longer works. This resilience allows individuals to stay engaged in the process even during difficult seasons, ensuring that progress continues in some form rather than stopping altogether. The beauty of adaptability is that it creates longevity not just in training but in life itself. Those who can adjust with changing circumstances are less likely to suffer long interruptions in their routines, less likely to become discouraged, and more likely to sustain healthy habits over decades. Adaptability transforms health and fitness from a rigid plan into a lifestyle that can bend without breaking. It is the ability to respond, to learn, and to shift in ways that maintain momentum while respecting reality. In the end, adaptability is not a compromise but a strength. The quality that ensures progress is not temporary but lasting, carrying individuals through every stage of life with resilience and confidence